Your spine straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold it there. Om. Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Yoantah Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam Sanjeevayatyakhila Shakti Dharasvadhamna अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् समचरणसरोज सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जघननिहितपाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमाला कन्धरं कञ्जनेत्रं सदयधवलहासं विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are meeting almost after like 2 months or so, or 6th of June, I think we had our last session. After that today, we are seeing some beautiful description done by Prabuddha Rishi to tell what is a Bhagavad Dharma. So Bhagavata way of life means what we have to, how we have to live as seekers. So there was this verse chanted, Shauchan tapastitikshancha maunam swadhyaya marjavam brahmacharya mahimsancha samatvan dvandva samnyayoho. So what happened in this, that a person, a seeker, so this is coming in 380, that verse, no? In that, so the Ovis from 380 and the description of this. So that is on page 163, towards the end, one Sanskrit shlok you will see. So the meaning given over there, he should learn to acquire. He means who? The person who is a seeker, who wants to know about the self. So the person who wants Bhagavat way of life. So he should learn to acquire purity, both outer and inner. Devotion to his religious duties means tapas, penance, endurance, silence, study of scriptures, sincerity, simplicity of mind, observance of continence, non-violence, balance of mind in the face of dualities like pain and pleasure or loss. And then the rest is the description in one OV. It is telling how we should be. So we did till this verse 319, and we are in chapter 3. So how we should purify ourselves, that's the description coming in. Now let's start at 3 OV 391. I hope everybody has got the page and everybody is with me, right? Anybody who has not got the OV and don't know where we are, 164 page. Third chapter, 391. All are there with me, right? Okay, let us start now. 391. Even if the leader of all washermen is taken to a sacred water place and given a thorough wash there, would he be a Brahmin? An actor may act as a king in drama, but he does not actually become a king or a respectable man. So this is regarding as a seeker, the purity inside outside we are talking about. So outside, whatever you try to this, but unless it is coming inside, it's not going to reflect outside. So the description for how a seeker should acquire certain way of life that's what we are reading now. A girl who is otherwise beautiful but has a white patch on her nose is not accepted in marriage by anybody. OV393. A woman may wear a pearl top for her beautiful head, but has no headdress around her waist and is naked. Or a woman whose nose is flat, but wears a beautiful ornament for that nose. Then all this is ridiculous. Similarly, outward show of purity is ridiculous. So within these first three OVs, we have come to understand that there is something called as a goal, and there is something which we project to the outer world, and there is some truth we know about ourselves. So that one which we fake outside is that description is this, that washerman, if you wash, will it become, so everything done and said, if inside it is not clean and you're just projecting outside, it's not going to work. I'm sorry to add some thoughts over here so that the reading doesn't become blank because we are starting after so long. Let's go ahead. 394. Will a crow become a swan if we apply curd to its body? Or if we churn cotton fibers as if it's curds, will we get buttermilk or will we be laughed at? So such impossible things he describes that we are talking of something impossible for ourselves. If we are doing only outward show off, but actually inside there is nothing. Similarly, when a man has dirty mind, whatever steps he takes to appear clean on the outside is, O king, a great travesty of truth. OV 396. When the consciousness becomes pure by the effect of Guru's advice, and when the body and the clothes are also clean by standard measures, then that is the whole purity, and there is then uniformity in one's life. 397. When purity is complete in the mind, it is automatically expressed outwardly also. And that purity guides the disciples towards the high status in the occult way of life. 398. When this important key to reach the God is really established in one's heart, his actions are Brahman, and the illusory relationship with the body has no effect on him. 399. Oh, the great king, this is the true purity. Now, what is penance?
We can't hear you. Your voice suddenly became feeble. Or is it only for me?
Good. We could hear.
You could hear?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's mine. Okay, sorry. I'll check.
So 399. Oh, the great king. This is the true purity. Now, what is penance? I shall tell you about it. Let's hear about tapa. 400. Penance is a word used for actions taken by a man by which the body becomes emaciated, but it also depends on the destiny. To meditate on the beauty of the Lord Krishna continuously in our mind is the real penance. 401. Just as a hero in the fervor of fight looks straight at the opposite army and rushes forward, similarly, one who holds the image of God in his heart and walks on the face of this earth is the real man of penance. 402. This is the nature of penance. This is pure penance. This cannot be further described. Then, why should I chatter? 403. The seeker should be having forbearance about opposites, like hot and cold, etc. That is called endurance. Okay, please listen to it and remember. 404. Just as behind the pictures of a tiger and tigress painted on a wall, the wall is common. Similarly, though there is pleasure or pain, our body is the sustainer and is common. 405. As the forest fire and the hot winds of summer do not affect the sky, though it is near both of them. 7406. Though there may be cold water or there may be snowfall, earth does not shiver. Similarly, being merged into the joy of Atman, a sage is not affected by dualities. 407. No doubt, the body trembles by cold, but the sage in his mind does not tremble. By extreme heat, the body becomes hard, but by the heat of his body, mind of the sage does not become hot. 408. He welcomes pleasure and gulps pain with equal serenity. O king, this is called endurance of opposites. 409. Supposing somebody throws a stone at us, and when it hits the body, there is pain. But if that stone is golden, the pain turns into pleasure. 410. The principle which expresses pleasure or pain is only one. When attention is riveted to that oneness, we can suffer both pain and pleasure without being sorry. 411. When we are aware that we are the knowledge which knows both the opposites, what happens? The opposites are merged into oneness. 412. The seeker looks at the spiritual energy in its oneness, just as there is sweetness common in the sugarcane and its juice. 413. O king, so long as this unbroken unity is not attained by the seeker, these opposites are very difficult to meet peacefully. 414. You should know, therefore, that this is the endurance of opposites. Now, please listen carefully. What is the nature of silence? 415. If we fall a prey to the enticement of entering into the argument, the pride of our body increases. But Sadhguru has swept clean the pride together with the word. 416. As soon as the teaching of Sadhguru entered the ears, the praise as well as blame was swallowed. The speech went into the temple of the heart and became wry and silent. 417. When this state comes into being, the seeker finds that if he is about to talk about the defects of somebody, he himself is in that man. So he does not talk. The silence is the effect of the teaching of the Guru. 418. Similarly, if it is intended to praise somebody again, there is silence, because he, the seeker, finds that he himself, one who praises, one who is praised, and the action of praising. So it is foolish if one praises himself. 419. There is no place where our Atman does not exist. Whatever is visible is so because of the light of the Atman. 420. This was the miracle done by Sadhguru. This attitude became firm in the seeker's mind, and therefore he does not speak either to praise or to criticize. 421. One may think that one should have a dialogue to gain something, but before the speech of the Sadhguru, even the logic of Vedas and Upanishads have proved futile. Then, where is the scope for my thought? 422. In this way, praise, blame, or arguments all become silent. By such silence, the seekers are blessed with joy. 423. Now the sage Prabuddha is talking about study of scriptures. In order to achieve finally such a great silence, the Sadhguru instructs the seeker about the recitation of Vedas and explains the meaning of Upanishads. 424. Further, if deeper silence is intended, the Sadhguru teaches the seeker to repeat the name of Rama or Krishna. This is because when these names are loudly repeated continuously, the meaning of Vedas stands before the seeker as a servant with folded hands. 425. The sacred places of pilgrimage bow before him, who boldly and loudly repeat the name of Rama, and gods fall at his feet, and the god of death Yama puts on his own head with respect the sacred water charged by the touch of his feet. 426. My dear king, the repetition of the name of Rama is itself the highest type of silence. Vedas have fully praised the name of God, and therefore The name of Hari is the greatest study of the Veda. By name of Hari, one attains the fruit of study of Vedas. 4 to 7. So, study of scriptures means either to recite Vedas or to repeat the name of Hari. Now listen to the definition of sincerity or simplicity of mind. 4 to 8. What is sincerity? It is like the life for all living beings or the thread in all the cloth. That is the sense of unity. 4 to 9. Or if sugar is given the shape of a bitter fruit, does sugar not become bitter? Similarly, the man with a straightforward nature and softness pleases even people of different mentalities. 430. Though the sickle-like shape of moon is crooked, the nectar-like quality of her rays remains straight. Similarly, even though this man meets people of crooked nature, his mind does not become twisted. 431. He does not think anybody to be lowly. He is a kind of relative to all. He behaves as if everybody is in an acquaintance of him for last many days. 432. The anvil gives support to hot iron. It bears heavy beating by the hammer. It becomes friendly with the iron prong and piece of iron, which is being beaten into the desired shape. 433. Thus, when a man behaves with everybody as a close relative, that is called a straightforward mind. This initiation is quite new. 434. Continence is the most difficult to achieve. Cupid maddens gods, demons, great sages. Its attack is very disastrous. Cupid is having no physical body because its place and play is in the mind and is very hard to control. 435. The man who has kama, the sexual desire permanently in his mind and outwardly suppresses the desire by great effort is not called desireless. His own mind does not accept him as ascetic. He only deceives himself. 436. Sadhguru, however, gives such an advice that by following it, the desire dies inside of its own accord. He gives the disciple good advice how to remain aloof from all enticements at all times. 437. The difference of male and female is true in the context of Cupid, but Guru's advice makes no such difference. For him, both are unreal, and pleasure from objects is a mirage. 438. There is a statement in Vedas that upastha, sex, is the place of joy. Is it false? This is the question. Answer to this. Those who really know Vedas say that 439. If anyone asks how sweet is the sugar, it cannot be described in words. The man who asks this is given a small particle of sugar to taste. When he experiences that taste, he can understand that the sweetness is the same in the lump of sugar. 440. Similarly, people experience that joy through sex on a very small scale, but the highest eternal joy in the Atman can be guessed by it. In this context, it is that Vedas state that the sex is place of joy. 441. The joy from the sex is momentary, but there are yogis who can experience joy of a durable nature without involvement of sex, and they know the two, the female and the male, are unreal, and they are the worthy of the self-knowledge. 442. The people thinking that sugar is the main thing in the matter of sweetness, and by that notion think that the sex is important for joy, indulge in the sex for temporary pleasure. 443. They think that coitus is the way to eternal blissful joy and become mad for woman because she is the source of sexual joy. 444. If a coconut is made purely of sugar, all the outer shell and inner layers are of sugar only. Thus the momentary waves of thrill arising out of sexual relationship are but a small reflection of total blissful joy of the state of Atman. 445. Many sweet dishes may be prepared, but the sweetness is given by jaggery or sugar only in all of them. Similarly, every interest in the pleasure or in the objects is because of inner sweetness of Atmic joy. 446. They do not know that Atman is the source of the joy, and therefore they suffer the inner pull of the sense objects. But the blessing of Sadguru is very powerful. It pulls all the interest together at one place. 447. Then the interest in the object of senses cannot ride over the minds of good disciples. By trusting in the teaching of the Guru, the attachment to woman becomes null and void. 448. There is no male Atman and female Atman. When this is realized, there is unsullied continence or pure bachelorhood. 449. This is called total celibacy with inner conviction. Guru makes this firm by his advice. 450. O the Emperor, now listen to the description of non-violence. The seeker never turns a crooked gaze at any being, even in the wakeful state or dream and sleep. 451. He places his foot on the ground very softly with the fear that the hard touch of his foot may hurt the Mother Earth. 452. He does not call loudly or shout because he is afraid that the sky will be hurt. He gives pleasure to all by his soft words. This is the nectar in his speech. 453. When his word spreads in the sky is as if filled with the miraculous vibrations of joys. Thus, all his speech is full of joy. 454. If he wishes to swim, he does not jump in the water lest it should be violently pushed down. So he enters in the water as if a small ripple of water, not hurting the banks at all. 455. When he enters in the water, the heat inside the water is removed. Thus, by his bathing, it is as if the light helps life to be cool and comfortable. 456. He does not breathe forcefully to avoid hurting the air around and leaves by gentle breath control. 457. Just as our own hand is never lifted to hurt ourselves, he never lifts his hand to hurt anybody. 458. If he stares at any animal, it will be afraid. Thinking thus, he never looks at any animal with hard stare. 459. He does not rub forcibly his body, lest his body should be hurt. Thus fearing violence, he is not proud of his body also. 460. Non-violence is a quality which resides in only such a man who believes that even a trifle of trouble given to any being is a harm done to the jiva living in that body. 461. The beings have suffering of three types: physical, mental, and through bad words. Where all the suffering ends totally, there the non-violence comes into existence. 462. O King, please bear in mind that this quality is pure non-violence. Now, O great King, I shall tell you about the state of mind which is in equilibrium in face of opposites. I think we can stop over here for today. I know it's after so many days when we are reading, we want to hear more, but let's pause over and reflect on what we need to do. And there is, as a seeker, all these beautiful advices are given. Everything is catching the attention, means every small action, we have to increase our awareness and come into that action. Any words that we speak, any act that we do, means how much awareness we'll have to bring into the whole thing. Anybody has any thoughts, please share. Any thoughts? Any OB that has attracted anyone?
Actually, most of them, the patience, endurance, silence, all those were very interesting.
Yes. And how easily he's explaining. So when he explains some ridicule sentences, means that is the height of that description to tell us that we are thinking in such a ridiculous ways. How we are not able to acknowledge the truth in all. So beautiful it is actually. Any more thoughts?
Few movies are related to Bhagavad Gita, like Param Brahma Parandhama, like Aparam Param, 4th chapter, and Sukha Dukkha Samasvastha.
Yes. Very beautiful. Very good to relate with Gita with that. Any more thoughts? Yes. Who wants to say?
The thing, every interest in the pleasure of objects is because of the inner sweetness of the Atma. He's brought it out so beautifully, explaining the sugar and the jaggery.
Yes.
You relate to it so immediately. It's very beautifully brought out. I like that. I underlined it and kept.
Amazing. Yes, you picked up a very beautiful line. Yes. It's the Atmic joy that is coming. Amazing. Such lovely yogis. Okay. So we join tomorrow. We continue from 463. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamudachyate Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
See you all
Vachaji.
tomorrow.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ashwini.
Hari
Thank
Om.
you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om.
Thank you, Varshaji.
Thank you.